20 years. She was first elected in 1987, 23 years ago. Why does she keep running and running and running? Experts believe that Yamagata-Noji will make as much as $300,000 a year retirement at taxpayer expense. Why? Because she works at a public college. And as a school board member, she's in a position to be a double dipper. What this means is that if she gets reelected, Yamagata-Noji will make even more money. 4 more years on the Santa Ana Unified School Board will mean even more of our tax money will end up in her retirement account. How does your retirement look? Will you be making over $300,000 a year? I doubt it. In 2007, the LA Times reported that Yamagata-Noji and the Santa Ana Unified administrators created false class rosters and misused substitute teachers to qualify for state funding earmarked for small classes for elementary students. Thanks to a brave few teachers who reported this fraud, they were caught. Unfortunately, the district lost over $5 million in penalties paid to the state. That was the last time Yamagata-Noji wasted our money. In 2007, Santa Ana Unified spent $22 million on a new warehouse, according to the OC Weekly. Are you kidding? There were no empty warehouses for sale in Santa Ana? They also remodeled the district headquarters last year, while they were laying off teachers and classified staff. Did you know that Yamagata-Noji sent her son to a high school in Irvine? That's right, she said she did it because her husband worked there, but we'll never know the truth. The fact is she lacked confidence in our own schools, but for 20 years she's been telling us what to do with our own children, while sending her own child somewhere else. What do we have to show for 20 years of Yamagata-Noji? The Santa Ana Unified dropout rate is 3 times the county-wide rate here in Orange County. Overall, the dropout rate is 9.1% in Santa Ana Unified. In Valley High, it's as high as 19.3%. That compares to the Orange County overall rate, which is only 3%. 20 years of Yamagata-Noji, 20 years of failure. But that's not all. Under Yamagata-Noji, our school district has the lowest graduation rate in the entire county. Santa Ana Unified has a rate of just over 50%. That compares to Orange County as a whole, which has a 70% graduation rate. 20 years of Yamagata-Noji, 20 years of failure. Yamagata-Noji loves gimmicks. This year, Santa Ana Unified was the only school district in all of Orange County to apply for federal Race for the Top money. But there's a catch. According to Education Week, 3 civil rights groups contend that the U.S. Department of Education failed to give adequate attention to the needs of English language learners with regard to Race to the Top money. That's not good, but that's what you would expect from Yamagata-Noji. She has no clue how to teach English language learners. Speaking of which, did you know that up until this summer, there was no way to read the school district website in Spanish or any other language? After complaints, the school district finally added a translating tool, which cost them nothing. And it gets worse. Santa Ana Unified's master plan link for English learners is still broken. This district has been dropping the ball with English learners for 20 years, 20 years of Yamagata-Noji. Santa Ana Unified has the worst STAAR test results in the county. Over 60% of our students lack English proficiency. Let's compare that to Garden Grove, where 54% in grades 2 through 11 are proficient or above in English, or Anaheim, where 48.2% in grades 2 through 11 are proficient or above in English. 20 years of Yamagata-Noji, 20 years of failure. Civil rights don't matter to Yamagata-Noji. Last year, she did nothing to stop censorship at the Orange County High School for the Arts, a charter school here in Santa Ana. They censored a student journalist and later fired her journalism teacher. Yamagata-Noji and the district looked the other way. A legislator in San Francisco passed a new law to prevent charter schools from censoring their students. Yamagata-Noji was missing in action. That wasn't the first time Yamagata-Noji showed no concern about civil rights. This year she suspended a college student where she works for tweeting about a teacher, and the student didn't even mention the name of the teacher in her tweets. The student was African American. After being suspended for a year, one wonders what's going to happen to her education, thanks to Yamagata-Noji. Back to the subject of wasting money in Santa Ana. A new report indicated that last year, Santa Ana Unified blew over $2 million on lawsuits. How many of these lawsuits happened because of Yamagata-Noji's failure to protect the district from litigation? How much of this was her fault? Many of these lawsuits pertain to special education, where the district has fumbled the ball too many times to count. 20 years of Yamagata-Noji, 20 years of litigation and failure. And have you noticed how lame the district website is? In Chicago and in Orange, you can check grades online. In Santa Ana, this is optional, so many teachers don't do it. Other districts have parent-friendly portals on the homepage, not Santa Ana. In fact, Santa Ana Unified still calls parents. There's no way to email or send text alerts. This district is far behind the times after 20 years of Yamagata-Noji. It's no wonder Yamagata-Noji shut down all the candidates' debates this year. The last thing she wants to do is explain herself to the public and to the voters. Usually there are 4 to 5 candidates forums in Santa Ana. This year, none. She doesn't want to answer to the people. She's hiding from us, with good reason. 20 years of Yamagata-Noji, 20 years of absolute failure. This year, the Orange County Register asked all local candidates to answer a few questions, but Yamagata-Noji blew them off. She's afraid to answer any questions, and we all know why. She has no excuse for 20 years of absolute failure. It's no wonder Yamagata-Noji has no campaign website. She's hiding from us. Sure, she has a Facebook account, but she only has 3 Facebook friends. How is that possible after 20 years on the school board? It says a lot about Yamagata-Noji. This year, voters in Santa Ana Unified finally have a choice, instead of voting for 20 years of failure. They can vote instead for Art Pedroza, a teacher at Cerritos College, a father of 3 boys who attend local Santa Ana Unified schools, and 1 daughter who already graduated from Santa Ana High School. Pedroza is a former Santa Ana City Commissioner. He's endorsed by many civic leaders, including Councilmember Sal Tinajero and Michelle Martinez. This presentation was produced by the committee to elect Art Pedroza to the Santa Ana Unified School Board 2010. FPPC ID number 1332494. Art Pedroza approved this message. To find out more about his campaign, go to fix@sausd.com. Vote Pedroza on November 2 and stop 20 years of Yamagata-Noji and absolute failure.